So, Mark, how's it
Hey,
going, man?
how are you? It's good.
Good to have you here. We
Yes.
started already. We've been having the conversation already running.
Yeah.
You just started talking about the festival. Actually, I'm curious. How long is this running, the Grauzone Festival?
Yeah, we started in the first edition was in 2013,
Mm.
and the idea started in 2012.
Okay. How did you come about with this idea? What did you want to platform in that sense?
Well, I've been going to shows already since a very young age. Since I think I was 9 when I saw Herman Brood.
Nice. Wow,
Uh,
that's cool. 9 going to see Herman Brood. Wow.
nine. Yeah, it was a crazy gig. It was like for me, it was like I mean, he's not like known to be like a punk musician, but it was a very wild show. Like it was my first introduction to like a punkish rock and roll band, and yeah,
Which year was it? You remember?
ooh, in the 80s.
In the 80s.
In the 80s, so you can guess my age, I guess.
Yeah.
But no, I saw at a very early age, 13, 14, I saw like bands like Sonic Youth, Public Image Limited, Cocteau Twins, like mainly punk or post-punk bands. And because I'm from Amsterdam, it was very easy for me to go to shows.
Yeah. Right.
I'd rather go to shows than to dance related events, discos or something. I was like more like a rock and roll punk person.
You wanted to
so
see the live band playing.
I
on
wanted
the
to see the
instruments,
live
yeah.
bands, and yeah, like I said, I went to a lot of post punk shows as well, and I went to some festivals in the 80s that had like a combination of music, but also performance art, absurdist stuff going on. Like I once went to this festival and there was this these doctors were running around in doctor suits.
in white robe.
In
Okay.
white suits, and they had the brancard, and like people were like, and I entered. I was like, what is there anybody ill or sick or? But it was like part of the whole
That's so cool.
part of the whole absurdist festival, and at some point there were even I saw like sheep walking around there in the
Actual
corridors.
sheep
Actual
or people
sheep.
dressed as sheep?
No, actual sheep. And it was like I went from like what is going on here? Like this is not like a normal show. This is like an event.
Yeah.
And this was something that stayed with me forever. You know that it's not just like a venue that you enter, you see the show and you leave, but that there's like a whole thing around the
Like a whole
music.
happening, basically.
Yeah, because like artists, they actually don't only make the music, but they make the whole. They have a vision of the whole, the album cover, the look, how they're dressed. Everything is like a part of the music, so it's not only the music. And this is what we're also trying to do with the festival, and that's why we came up in 2012. Let's do also something like absurdist in that sense.
Yeah, it's interesting that you had this experience when you were 9 as a child.
Yeah.
It's a core memory.
Yeah.
And then as an adult, you go and you basically want to share this experience with other people.
Yes. As there were no festivals like Grauzone Festival at that time. Nowadays, other festivals are influenced by us, so they some elements are you see them now also at other festivals, but yeah, we're like at that time in 2012 there was nothing like that, so
Yeah.
I just wanted to create a festival that I would like to attend myself. And me and Natasha, we made up the whole concept, and yeah, we didn't have any money, so we just emailed the Melkweg here in Amsterdam. Like, we have a good idea, but we don't have any money. Can you guys like help us? Because we wanna put the festival in the Melkweg.
And what was their initial reaction? Was like, because I guess
Well,
they get a lot of those.
Natasha, who's the co-organizer, co-creator, together with me,
Yeah.
she said, just you mail them because you have the political background. Because I studied political science at the university, so she said, yeah, you're very good in bringing it in a certain way. So that you can persuade them to do it, like the political
The
way.
language, the
A
language.
certain language. I said, but why would they? Why would they do this? I mean, they have their own bookers, etc. And she said, no, but you can write these mails very well. So I said, okay, I will do it.
I'm so curious. Like, what did you write to them that enticed them? That
Yeah, I have to. The mail is still somewhere, but I'm very good in this. So I probably took some point where I touched them, and they. Were
and that
like,
was
yeah.
before ChatGPT,
Yes.
meaning that you didn't say,
No.
write it in a style that will interest bookers in the Melkweg. Manipulate my way into their programming, please.
Yeah. No, so they invited us, and I mean, we had like five or six bands that are actually now famous, but back then they were unknown, like Lebanon Hanover or Linea Spira, Cold Cave. Those bands were like totally unknown back then. Now they're known. But we didn't have any headliner acts. But yeah, then when we started the conversation, Melkweg was like, yeah, let's add some cool other post-punk bands, some more famous ones. And then we were like, yeah, cool. Like which ones?
Yeah.
Yeah, what do you think about Echo and the Bunnymen? And we were like, what? Echo and the Bunnymen? It's like one of the more known post-punk bands. Yeah, cool. Yeah, add them. And then we had I think we had like 15 or 20 acts, and the whole Melkweg was sold out.
Nice.
First edition.
Was it a one-day festival back then, or was it?
It started as a one-day festival, and then in the third edition in the Melkweg, it was 3 days. Oh, sorry, it was the third edition was 2 days.
2 days.
Yeah.
Nice. Wow, great.
And all editions were sold out.
Yeah, I can imagine. I mean, also with the power of the Melkweg and good bands, good programming, all that stuff hasn't been done yet. Did you bring also this absurdity concept?
Yeah,
to
we
it?
had the art concept. We had like an art exhibition there, we also had the absurdist thing. But we didn't in the beginning. We didn't have like all the financial means to put this into the festival. But when we got more known, we started to put more side programs into the festival, like this absurdist things. So like people like walking around in Bauhaus style dresses and all kinds of weird things happening at the festival.
Yeah, I mean, I always open this podcast with, I didn't do it with you because it was just already spontaneous.
Yeah, we already started.
Exactly. I was asking basically, the question I'm asking is always tell me your story. And you asked me before the podcast started, you were like, so what are we going to talk about? And the thing is, it's about you and it's your path, because I'm always interested. The podcast itself is called Into the Score. I'm a composer myself. And it's like, I like to go into a score of a composition and then understand more what makes it what it is. So I would like to know about your background a little bit before, because we already jumped into the stuff you're doing today. But what is the thing that led you into it, into dealing with politics, into being a guitar player, into programming a festival, all these things? It started somewhere.
Yeah. Well, I already told you that I was like interested in music at a very young age.
Yeah.
But I was also interested in politics at a very young age. I remember, I think it was 8 or 9. Back in those days in Amsterdam, because I'm from Amsterdam, my family is also from Amsterdam for centuries already. My dad, back in those days, there was still a lot of alternative underground squat scene here in Amsterdam. A lot of underground culture, and sometimes whole streets were like occupied by squatters, by alternative people, and it was like big in the newspapers. You couldn't even go to Museumplein anymore because there was like all streets were taken over by underground people looking for housing, squatted all kinds of empty buildings. And my dad...
Can I stop you for a moment? Because
yes.
I've been hearing a lot about it. I've been also reading about the, let's say, this... I almost want to call it like anthropological phenomena of the squatting in the 80s and the 90s, you know? Especially seeing what happens to Amsterdam now that it's, let's say, a much more... squats are rare right now. Buildings are being immediately appointed or privatized.
Yes.
This thing doesn't really exist anymore. What was the thing that led to it? Why did it happen in the 80s and 90s? Why was... Do you know that, or...
Well, I mean, there was like a lot of this house owners. I mean, my granddad also used to have a few houses here in Amsterdam, which he, I think his dad bought them also like back in the 20s or something. And in the 70s and 80s, the city wanted to renew. A lot of those buildings were very old and they had to be renovated, or they were like a monument. And they asked for certain rules to, my granddad was like, okay, I'm gonna sell those houses, because he didn't want to deal with this. But a lot of house owners, they just left those buildings, keep them empty, and thought probably like, okay, we're gonna deal with this later. Well, there was like a lot of we're going to deal with this later when the economy, because in the 80s and 90s the economy was pretty bad. So if you would sell your house, you would not get a lot of money for it. So they were just thinking, okay, we're just going to keep it empty, and we see later when it's more worth. But there was a lot of housing and hotels and everything. It was like empty.
Just empty panda, yeah.
Yeah, a lot.
And then basically people would just squat, go into it, start living
logically there. They were squatting, and in the squatting scene, it was also part of the music scene, because they some of these squats had like really nice areas for bands to play. So a lot of these early Dutch punk bands, they started playing in those squats. I would attend to those squats and those shows. And one, I remember, like I said, one of those big riots there, one of the most famous ones, I think I was 8 or 9. And my dad asked me, like, where do you want to go? It was Sunday or something. Where do you want to go, like, on the Sunday? You want to go to the kindergarten thing, or you want to go see something cool, like the squatters? And I was like, okay, I want to go to the squatters. So
it's like a blood sport, You want to see them fight each other?
No, they were not fighting each other. They were fighting they were fighting for justice, actually, because it was a lot of houses were empty here in Amsterdam. So they were fighting for justice. And it's a pity that nowadays it's like much more forbidden, this squatting, because there's still a lot of buildings empty. Buildings and offices. That they just left. So
and it's it's funny because I moved here in 2010, and I can remember a year that I haven't heard that housing is a problematic thing here. And then if I hear already from 70s and 80s, that's a constant thing that has been plaguing the city. just constant. And so you're this like little boy, you're seeing this movement happening. We also had Oscar here that was talking about the punk movement that started in the 70s, 77 until 81, what he wrote. All that stuff. You're also, you know him, of course,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So how do we go from this to studying political science to being embedded in the punk and rock movement or sub-punk? And
Well, I was like I said, I was very at a young age very interested in politics. I went to demonstrations. Back then you had like the you had like the Russia, the Soviet threat, what they called it,
Cold War.
Cold War. And U.S. and Soviet were fighting each other. So like there was like a lot of demonstrations here in the Netherlands against nuclear weapons.
Mm.
So I was part of those demonstrations as well at a young age. And I was always interested in American politics. Not because I support the U.S., but I was, especially now with the Trump administration. But I was always intrigued by how this world power. They started as a colony, even in like the 16th, 17th century. New York was New Amsterdam, and from a colony, they worked their way up to being like a world power, and I was always very intrigued by that. So, as a kid, I was also watching, for example, these American election debates. I was very interested in that. Some other people stayed up late for boxing. I stayed up late to watch the American elections debates.
Which age were you back then? Do you remember?
9 or 10.
9, 10. Also,
11,
wow, that time.
Yeah.
So you're staying for these debates and you're starting to really...
I stayed up because these debates were like on CNN, and then I would stay up till like 3 or 4.
Yeah. And would you okay, so you have this. I can guess. I can only guess that you become like a very like specific individual as a kid with these type of interests.
Yeah.
When does the decision actually to go into politics happens?
Well, listen, I was first at the University of Amsterdam. I studied political science.
Was it like the first thing that you thought of, or was it like, okay, this is an interest I have?
There was 2 things I wanted to do. I was either wanted to become an artist, like a painter or a sculptor, these type of things. I was a very good painter. So I went to some academies like Rietveld, but back then they were like really into a certain way of viewing art, and I didn't like that.
What is that certain way, if I may ask?
They were more into like art when you put an egg on the floor.
Conceptual, you mean?
Conceptual, and you make like a whole story around the egg, While I was more like really like
technique,
and and I didn't like that way of thinking so much. Although I like conceptual art, but my own way of like making art was different. So I left that idea, and then I was like, okay, then I'm gonna do study political science, and
it's 2 very different things.
It's 2 very different things, and simultaneously I also started playing in bands. Already at a very young age, I started playing guitar. I got my first guitar, I think I was 11 or something. And it was in the punk days, so I didn't want to take any lessons. It was not to take guitar lessons. It was not punk.
Okay.
So I didn't know, and there was no internet back then.
So funny.
There was no internet, so I didn't know how to tune. So it was just like, okay, but all the time, with the guitar, like trying out, like, how do I tune it? I also didn't know that you had to play with a plectrum.
Okay, so you did it with your fingers.
I did it with my fingers, and I still.
And that's why you have the nails.
I still do it like that. There's actually some guitarists from the '60s who also, like Jeff Beck or something, they also play with their nails, because you have much more control.
Flamenco guitar players also.
Exactly, exactly. You have much more control. But I play like more heavy rock or punk. But I also have much more control with the nails. So but it's the way. If you learn that from a very young age, that's for you the normal thing. But if you learn it with a plectrum, you also cannot. It's difficult to go back to nails.
And you were always adamant about not having any lessons.
Yeah,
you were just like no lessons.
Yeah, no lessons. No.
So even if you go to a band and someone tells you this is how you play C, it's like whoa. Don't give me right information. Only false information, please. Or was it different?
Well, I mean, eventually, of course, I learned how to tune, but I still didn't want to get any lessons, because, like, if you get lessons, you learn it in a certain way. Well, I developed my own style, and I don't want to lose that own style. So
Even like hundreds of years of tradition of teaching and developing the instrument and finding like the most efficient way, you said no.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's good to know. Okay.
Yeah. And I mean, I can play. I mean, I think the Beatles also were like people who didn't read notes. They did everything by ear. And I also do everything by ear. And my granddad, he was also a good guitarist. He and a good musician, actually. He could play any instrument by ear. Even if he never touched the instrument, he could already come up with some song, or like whether it was the piano or saxophone or guitar. He had like a musical hearing, and I have the same thing. I can play any kind of song. If I hear it, I can play it. So it's like, and people sometimes ask me, like, more people who took lessons and know notes, etc. They sometimes ask me, how can you play these songs, or how do you know what to do? I say, it's by ear. I don't know. This is like what I did my whole life.
Yeah, just listening. Yeah, I think it's really like with music, just the aspect of the community and listening to each other. It's very important. It's kind of like
definitely.
It's almost like it can get. I'm sure you had experiences like this, especially being in politics, like coming and meeting someone who's extremely well educated and well versed,
yes,
but no life experience.
Yeah.
So the words are very nice and everything, and the structure is very correct. What they say is very correct, but it's not infused with life experience. So it's not infused with character. It's not infused with...
And it also doesn't come across. So, for example, what I'm doing in politics is like natural. So this is also what I hear from colleagues or other people in politics, that they say that I'm like one of the most authentic speakers, people talking about politics, because I always try to have a personal touch to it, and say it in my own words. And this is also how it comes across much better, I think.
I think that's one of the reasons that Donald Trump became so popular, to be honest, because he doesn't speak like a politician.
Could be. Although I'm of course totally against everything what he says. So
I'm not even talking about. I'm not even going into.
I know.
Agenda. It's like someone who's, shooting from the hip, says like absurd stuff. It's someone all of a sudden that people could relate to on a personal level, instead of like, Obama, it's like, let me start this, what I wanted to say. It's all like very leveled Harvard
Well,
graduate.
I have to say that actually Obama also had this like big movement going on when he was elected, and of course he had 2 terms.
Yeah.
And I think actually if he could have 3 terms, that people again would have voted for him, because he was very charismatic and also could relate. And also his wife could relate to a lot of people on a personal level, down-to-earth guy. But yeah, you're right. Trump says talks also in that. I mean, what I've always understood is that Trump is actually afraid of Obama. That if they would ever been together in debates, that or if Trump would have been in a debate with Bernie Sanders, then he would have been in big trouble, because those Bernie Sanders or Obama, they're also people who are talking authentically from a personal stand of view, and then he could get into trouble, Trump.
Yeah.
So pity that those people never were in a debate with him.
Exactly. So I want to get more into the music stuff. So
yes,
you're teaching yourself, you're doing all of this. When is the first band that you're a part of? Like, how old are you when you start playing with like the first band?
I think it was like 16 or 17. I joined already existing band. They were called Stench Morass. And
Stench Morass.
Yeah, I don't know exactly why, but
I like these punk band names, man.
Yeah, and
we should adopt it to jazz and classical music, like Burning Rectum. It's like this beautiful like harp,
this is more black metal. That's not punk. This is more black metal.
Burning Rectum?
Yeah, I think it's more black metal.
So which good name would be? Just imagine this like band, like harp and violin, 2 beautiful women just playing the most divine music, but it needs the worst name possible.
Yeah, you have to look it up on the internet. These black metal bands, or they have like really bad names, and it's actually also unreadable, because they're all with this like spider type of writing and logos. But no.
So you were in Stench Morass?
I was in that band, and we had our first show, and. I was not the lead guy in that band, because I joined the band. So the lead guy on vocal and guitar, I was on guitar as well. He brought flower bags, and I was like, "Why is he taking all these bags with flour? I mean, you want to make bread or something, or what does he want to do?" So, and he put that on stage, and we start. I mean, we were a punk band. You start the show. My mother was actually, because it was like my first show ever, so I invited my mother, and so she came, and it was like, and we were like an opening band. So, and it was like a lot of people, and it was some local bar. Maybe there were like 100 people, and. We had these like on stage, you sometimes have these ventilators, right, to get air. So
man, I think I know where it's going. Jesus Christ.
These fans. So we're playing the show, and like it shows you also have these like smoke machines, right? So like a little bit of smoke, I'm playing, and like at the 3rd or 4th song, I'm like, man, they're using this smoke machine a lot. I mean, I cannot see anything anymore. And then I'm trying to look, and then I see that the main guy from the band, he's like throwing these flower bags into these vans.
Gee.
And it's like all like the whole fucking venue was like
full of flour.
Everybody was white. My mother was like completely white. and my mother is like, and that guy from the venue says like, stop, you guys, show is over, you guys destroying my venue. So I think we played 3 or 4 or 5 songs. That was my first show, and we had to leave because
Why? Okay, why flower? Why?
I think he wanted to make some impression.
Look, we're talking about it.
And my mother was like, "Whoa, is this like always at shows?" I said, "No, it's the first time. It's also my first time with this flower."
And then he throws water. Everybody make your own pita. Yeah.
So that was my first show experience.
That was your first gig ever.
First gig ever. So from there on, it only goes downhill, of course. But no, I played in like all kinds of different styles of bands. I mean, I was like back then mainly into punk and post-punk. So I mainly played in bands in that style. But I started to like much more styles of music. So I was also getting much more into hard rock. If it was underground-ish or heavy, then I was into it. So I was also into some early death metal. I was very much into early 70s Black Sabbath type of bands. But also 60s psychedelic. More and more styles of music came into my head, and also influenced the writing of my music. Because I was writing my own songs, and I also played all kinds of instruments. So I also play drums, bass.
Yeah.
I sing, but the guitar is my main instrument.
And you never thought of like going into an institution, studying at... No. You never had a teacher also?
No.
Okay. It's really rebellious. I like it.
Yeah. So when I started studying political science...
How old were you? Like you're 18, 19 when you just started university?
Or 20, 19 or 20, something like that. I went to school in the Bijlmer at first. And then I went to Joke Smit School here close to the Museumplein. Joke Smit was one of the most famous feminist women here in the Netherlands, and so I felt free and happy with on Joke Smit School, because they had like a little bit more alternative way of teaching, more freedom. Also, a feminist view on world perspective, which is something I really, for me, is really important. So, I got my degree on Joke Smit School, and then I went studying at the University of Amsterdam. And then in my first year, back then the political science was still... a lot of the teachers there were communists, had a communist background, there was already one of my first days there at university. The other students who were there already longer, they said, "Let's occupy the university." And I was a new guy there, so I was like, okay, let's do it. Let's do it. I was always into demonstrations. So, and they said, they didn't agree with several things there that were not going right. So they said, no, let's occupy. So yeah, we were occupied. I was one of the occupiers there, and we just we just closed down the whole university. and, and then at some point, yeah, we got a call from the head of the university. He said like, okay, if you guys don't leave, MA is gonna turn up to.
Oh yeah, with the clubs.
Yeah,
With the baton.
yeah, exactly. So. Yeah, this was one of my first days at university, and then MA.
That was one of your.
MA came, MA came, and I was like saying to the other people, like, okay, what are we gonna do? Because okay, MA is gonna come, they're gonna bash in the door, and then what? Are we gonna resist? Are we gonna
Because if you resist and hit them,
are we going to chain us to what are we going to do? But there was like a huge discussion. Nobody knew. One person said this, other person said that.
there was also like the danger of you actually doing something criminal if you attack them back, or
Yeah, but we were not really like violent or something, but it was more like peaceful demonstrating. Like saying that we didn't agree with some things that were happening there, and but we couldn't decide what type of action we would take. Like if we would chain ourselves or peacefully go out, or even go out before they would appear. So yeah, that was also one of the first. Times that I experienced like that there was always some division within the ranks of the demonstrators, that not everybody could agree on what are we going to do, you know. And I always think,
I like how it's like, you know, abolish the system.
Yeah.
Like, fuck hierarchy, this. And then when there's a problem, there's just such a simple, like, hierarchy is just happening in such an organic, natural way. Because you have to make decisions.
Yeah. And that's, like I said, that was one of the first times I experienced this. And it was a lesson for me, because I always try to keep everybody united, you know. Because I think united we are much stronger than divided.
Yeah.
So there's in the left-wing movement, there's a lot of people who in the end want the same thing, but they have different ways of getting there. And I think it's much better to try to unite us to fight the powers.
Yeah.
And the capitalist system.
What do you think is a better system then, in capitalistic system?
Well, the capitalist system is, in the end, it's going to destroy everything, because it's impossible to grow.
It's expansion.
At some point, there's an end point, and then, for example, you can see it now with climate crisis and the Earth. We're heading towards a very bad situation here in the world. So, and I'm not talking about Trump, because we're also, with Trump, we're heading into a bad situation. But I'm now talking about climate change, actually, which Trump denies. But and this is partly or mainly, I think, because of the capitalist system, which is more money, and more money.
Yeah,
that's the only thing
that
counts.
Profit. It makes me think of, let's say, the fungus or mold crisis that was in Ireland in the 19th century.
Okay, yeah.
That it's like a prime example of wanting to actually, the benefit of profit is much higher than the benefit of the people. Because the English, instead of giving them proper potatoes, they exported them for gains and for profit, and they starved 1 million people, basically in Ireland. You know, and it was clear that it was just for profit. There was no interest in helping the Irish, no interest in salvaging this nation that was actually crumbling under literally just mold and bad harvest of their potatoes. That's why also the crises are happening in the stock market and all that stuff. It's like it's almost manufactured to the point of this is what the capitalistic system needs every few decades to kind of reignite itself, you know? Because if you think about it, we kind of made up these systems. The monetary system is made up.
What sometimes I'm reading, and also from history, you can see that they say that a war is needed to go back again to the basics, and then they can start all over again.
No.
But this is complete bullshit. They should just stop with the capitalist system, like making more money and making more profit. And they
But
should,
what do you think is the alternative? What is the good alternative for that? Because then it means that labor needs to be compensated in a different way. Because right now, money is like is basically like basically brokering the amount of labor or the amount of information or the amount of, let's say, control that you have. It's being projected into monetary ability.
Yeah, but there's a few 100 billionaires that have, or maybe even less than a few hundred, that have all the money. And they have like, I don't know, 95% of the money of the whole world. I think this whole system is very bad, and there's enough food for everybody here in the world, but and enough means to have a good life for everybody. But all the money and should be divided equally. Maybe it's a
it's pretty communist,
very idealistic view, but
it's like neo-communist, actually, if you think about it.
I mean, of course, like I mean, the original Marxist ideas are not really bad. I mean, but everybody is always getting once they get into power, they get power blind.
Yeah,
and they lose their original ideas. So, for example, in Soviet Union, healthcare was free. It was free. I mean, look, U.S. It's capitalist, the richest country in the world. People don't have healthcare.
No, and it's also extremely expensive.
Is that good? I don't think it's good. But in Soviet Union and communist countries, you had free healthcare. In Cuba also. Yeah. Some of the best doctors, they come from Cuba.
Yeah.
But because the healthcare system in those countries was always very good, and you can see it also in a lot of medicine, everything. They had a lot of inventions coming from those countries, and a lot of expertise. But so there were like several things in those countries that were pretty good, as opposed to, for example, capitalist countries. But you should find a middle ground.
Yeah, because I think that's like, it's always interesting that, you know, the idea of communism is being presented, and it's also by the theory of Karl Marx, like Marxism. Also, when I heard the first time, I think I was 14. And I was really like, hey, this is like a perfect utopian. Everybody shares the same load, and there is no like loss of the individual. It's a part of, you know, workers unite, and it's like this collective thing. Yeah. However, human nature pushes us into this like military autocracy, or like, you know, in places where it was tried, in places where it was already practiced. And I'm more interested in why this is happening, because once power is being offered, such immense amount of power is being offered to just people, humans, that are living in this, like, let's say, central nervous system, reward system that they have, you know, ancient bodies in that sense, they tend to turn corrupt.
Well, not everybody.
They tend. I said they
Yeah,
tend to
yeah,
turn corrupt.
yeah,
They tend to turn
yeah,
corrupt.
yeah.
They tend to
I mean,
exercise power.
me as a politician, I am, and I was always, although I'm very much interested in politics, in my lyrics for my band, I was always and am always very anti-politics, because yeah, look how the world is doing. You know, it's not going well. So, but yeah, once I got the opportunity to be a politician myself, and I'm here in Amsterdam in the city council. Once I got this opportunity, I was like, okay, now I have the possibility to show that a politician can be different.
Yeah.
And I'm not into power. I'm not into publicity. I'm not into making money. I want to try to achieve something good for the city of Amsterdam, for the people of Amsterdam, for the animals, for the nature. This is what I'm there for, and all the other things they don't interest me.
Would you consider running for minister premier?
Well, I have.
Because we're talking like this is like the highest power decision making. That's why I'm asking that. If
Listen, I actually achieved some really nice things. Although my party is not in a majority, but I have still achieved some really nice things that have changed the city or the system. So you can actually do something positive, and yeah. With that in mind, I maybe want to continue politics, because I can actually achieve something good.
yeah, yeah, and I think if I look, and I hear your story and I look at the stuff that you're doing, you are an exception of the rule when it comes to politicians. You are an exception of that. It's like the majority, at least from my interaction. It was very much like talking points and, selling you like an image and wanting to be liked by everybody and having this popularity contest. That's why I can only hope that more people of your sort, going into politics from the right, not the right, but let's say a different type of perception of it would just make the political climate much different in that sense.
Yeah, yeah.
And you have your guitar behind you here.
Yes.
Because you said before we started the podcast that there's a song that everybody's covering, but they're playing it wrong. Right?
Exactly.
I want to hear what is...
Well, the thing is that my band, Vitamin X, I've been in several bands, but that's my most famous band. And I mean famous, what is famous, because... yeah. My songs have millions of views. I'm on Wikipedia, and yeah, people think that I'm like known, in the music scene. But it's like a certain part of the scene, and within that scene, my band is very famous. So whether it's in Indonesia or in Brazil or in Iceland or whatever, like if we play a show there, that hundreds of people turn up. But money-wise, we're not famous at all, because we're doing it for fun. So with the whole internet thing, everybody's listening. The records online, and there is no financial profits from that. The funny thing is, when we started with the band, in our first album was released in 2000. We were totally unknown. I mean, we didn't have an album out yet. It was our first album. that was our biggest financial
Before the
profit.
revolution of Napster and everything.
So I think we sold like 10,000 of that album.
That's
and then a
that's
single
not a small
after
amount.
that I think also sold between 10 and 20,000, something like that. And we were totally unknown. So you can imagine, and now we have millions of fans and listeners, and now we almost don't sell the actual records.
Exactly.
Because I brought some of the actual records before I start playing the song. Like this is our first album. Yeah, you can already see it's like very political. See through their lies.
Yeah.
Political. Yeah.
Wow, can I see that for a moment?
I will take out the record because we have it on colored vinyl.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, and this is our second album, Down the Drain. And you can see the peace sign, but
torn apart.
torn apart peace sign. So like, like besides political lyrics, we also always tried to have the political view into our images on the front covers, you know. Yeah, and then we have our most famous album is this one. It's called About to Crack, and an animation video was made from this front cover. And that animation video that got very popular, that has like millions of views on YouTube. It also won several prizes. BBC aired it, like all kinds of stuff. So, yeah, and this song, a lot of people try to cover it. But yeah, I have, like I told you, I have this special way of playing. It's not really the official way. So, like a lot of people are playing it online on YouTube, but they're not playing it correctly.
Did you ever do like a video of you playing it like it should be?
No, I never did that.
So this is the first time gonna be.
So I can.
Wait, here, Mark.
Yeah. I can. I have my guitar here. How loud do you want me to do it?
I think the mic. This is good.
Okay, so I have a funny story about this guitar. This is like a Gibson SG. It's like one of the most famous guitars. You have also Les Paul, which is famous. This guitar is actually like the guitar that, like, for example, Black Sabbath Tony Iommi is also using Gibson SG. That's why I was always attracted to having this type of guitar. So with Vitamin X, we did several US tours, and I had a guitar stolen during one of those tours. The guitar I was playing on was stolen in DC. So I was and I still had a long tour ahead. So I had to have other guitar. So at shows I was like all the time playing on a replacement guitar, but I was all the time asking if somebody maybe has a good spare guitar that you want to sell, then let me know after the show. So this guy comes up to me after the show. I think it was in Richmond or I don't know where, somewhere there, and he says like, "Yeah, I have some guitars in my basement, but I don't know actually what those guitars are. I just have them lying there, some like previous owner or whatever. I don't know."
For me.
And I was like, okay, but are they good guitars? I need a good guitar. Yeah, I think they're good guitars. I said, okay, let's go there tomorrow. Let's go there. So we went. We got his address and we went to his house. It was like in the woods, so we arrived at the house and. The other guys were like, okay, you just go there and we stay in the bus. So I went inside, and there was this like I thought it was a pet. I thought he had a pet, like hey, how are you? It was like a, it turned out to be a wolf.
Oh,
so
American, Jesus! Wow.
I was like,
Good thing it wasn't a tiger or something.
I was like looking at the eyes, and I was like, okay, but is it a wolf? He said, yeah, wolf. I took it from the woods, and now have it as a pet here.
It's like one day he just murders the entire family, like just eats them up.
So anyway, I was like, so I went into his basement, and I saw like several guitars, including this one, and I was like, whoa, this is like it looks like a Gibson SG, but a normal Gibson SG has a plate here, and has the dots are like squares, not dots. So I was like, what kind of SG is this? Like, is it like a real one or a fake one? And he said, I don't know. It's just like lying.
He just inherited that.
Yeah. He said, I don't know. And then I was playing it. I said, even if it's fake, it's playing well. So yeah, I'll take it. I gave him a few $100. And yeah, the guitar played really well. This was before the internet days, And I was like, yeah, it's a weird guitar player, but it plays well. And then later I was checking, because on the back of these Gibsons you have a number here. So when I got home, I did some research, like what is this number actually? And it turned out that this is like a guitar from 1980. It's like an original Gibson SG, but it's a limited edition because they tried out like like a different style, and they only made, I think they made 500 of these. So it's like
this thing is worth a fucking fortune.
Yeah, it's like a few thousands worth. That was pretty cool actually. But one time, because you see it's like a little bit damaged.
It went through some stuff, yeah.
It went through several tours, and at some point I also, at shows, I was like, because at punk shows people are like stage diving and crowd surfing, right? So I had the funny idea to throw my guitar in the audience, and then they would like crowd surf it back to the stage, And it always worked out well, People catched it and just it flew back to the stage. But I think it was in Seattle, they didn't catch it at the right moment, so it fell down on the floor. And yeah, it had some, like, I don't know, I had to repair it. Also, the neck here was like a little bit like bruised, so I had to repair it. But it's a very good guitar.
I like the duct tape.
Duct tape.
So play us, please.
Yeah, well... In punk, you don't do solos, so I incorporated some solos like once we progressed with the band. But yeah, normally you don't do that many solos in punk. Although my Vitamin X is a little bit like a mixture of like punk and some thrash-ish punk. Like leaning towards little bit of metal edge, you know, or hard rock edge. Okay, the song we're talking about is the song About to Crack. In punk, you don't have a lot of diversity. The songs are also short, but the way how I'm writing is I'm always writing like catchy, so it has to stay in your head. And yeah, like you said, this song is covered a lot on YouTube, but not everybody plays it right. So I'm gonna try to show how you play this song. I can show it firstly a little bit slowish, so it's like. That's the first riff, and then the second riff is. That's the second riff. Actually, the whole song is based on these two riffs. There's an end riff as well. It goes like this. Okay, so those are the three basic riffs. So I'm gonna play like some of the. I'm not gonna play the whole song because it's like 1.5 minutes, but I can play a big part of the song. Okay, About to Crack. How much can it take? How much longer will I suffocate running to a bad end? How much longer? Take no longer. About to crack. Bench wall. About to crack. Can't take no more. No more. How much can it take? How much longer? Let's suffocate running to a dead end. How much longer? Take no longer. About to crack. About to crack. Can't take no more. No more. Well, that's
nice.
Sort of the song. I'm not the singer of the band, so excuse me if I'm not singing well.
What are the mistakes that you saw there? Because I'm seeing like a lot of like power chords you're playing, like a lot of like the first and fifth. So probably people were looking for the third, right? For the chord.
Well, what they're always missing is the. They normally what I'm seeing is what they do is what I'm doing. Listen, the thing with playing guitar is like before I started playing guitar, I told you I didn't have any lessons or whatever. I thought it was like learning Chinese, you know, like it's impossible for me to learn. But at some point. Yeah, and also experimenting with tuning and like playing with my hands, I got better and better, and what is not important in playing guitar is like not the actual the normal way of playing like.
Like clean, you mean?
Yeah, the thing what is important is like the pull-offs and the tremolo and all these little things. That's what makes playing guitar interesting. So, for example, like if you have like Hendrix, like people think, and he was an insane guitarist, right? But sometimes he's almost not doing anything. He's just doing this. I'm not doing anything.
Yeah.
So, for example,
Which actually, if it, how would this sound clean without any effect? Like very dull,
yeah,
very
yeah.
thin, like
Yes,
no information.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
exactly.
yes. But it's all these pulls and all this the way how you press the strings. This is what gives it the cherry on the cake, and that
Yeah.
actually makes the song also.
And it's also the personalized touch that it does.
It's the personalized touch. It's like you do. I barely do anything, but this is like Motorhead's one most famous songs, but it's just E. But it's the way like it's this is what like Ramones they just had like very simple chords, but almost nobody can play it because the way the up and down strokes, and they did a lot of these strokes.
Yeah.
This is the difficult thing.
Yeah.
This is a very difficult thing.
Yeah, and I think it's really interesting, you know, because I'm having like a lot of musicians here and a lot of like different types of practitioners, and what is really interesting is that type of like, let's say, personalization of the touch and personalization of how you do it. If it influences enough people, it's going to get institutionalized.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
if let's say there was a movement of millions and millions of people that are trying to play like you and like trying to get at this, at some point some academic will take it, break it into analysis, institutionalize it, then make like a whole trajectory of a thing. So actually this thing, like what I'm trying to say is that the thing of like, let's say rebellion or not going with the stream is what breeds innovation.
Definitely.
In that sense,
Definitely.
You know? So if someone is listening to it and they're thinking like, yeah, I should be more conventional, I should go towards a more conventional leertraject, let's call it like this.
Yeah.
No, if you have something quirky and bizarre in you, stay with that and bring it more, like crystallize that concept instead of trying to fit in.
Definitely.
You know?
Definitely. I mean, I think from a perspective of my band being like famous worldwide, we made it, but we're not like I don't know a big metal band that tours all the time and makes a lot of money. That's not us. Maybe we could have been much bigger, also known with a wider audience, but we all chose a little bit to go our own path and just enjoy the playing and not like make a career out of it.
Yeah.
So we are on pretty cool labels that release our records. We play also very big festivals because they know when we play they're gonna get a really nice, cool show. But we're not like making a big career out of the band, like making money and stuff.
Yeah.
That's
Were
not
you
good.
thinking of doing it, or was it just organic thing that happened?
Yeah, the band started organically. I actually started playing drums in the band. First 3-4 practices, I think I was the drummer. But then they said, "Yeah, you're such a good guitarist. You should you should play guitar." So we also, for example, Full Scale Assault album and About to Crack album, we recorded those in the US. The next one, that one.
Oh yeah, Full Scale Assault. Yeah.
We recorded those in the US, and we went to Steve Albini. He's the guy who also recorded Nirvana's last album.
Amazing.
And he recorded many famous acts. Like he recorded those guys from Led Zeppelin, Page and Plant, Pixies, all kind of Stooges, Iggy Pop. So when we went there, it was like us in a chocolate fabric, with such a guy, such an experienced guy. And when we were sitting there, like in the studio, recording, and then Iggy called, and, and he put Iggy on the phone, and we could hear what Iggy said, and Iggy was like, the recording. The reviews came in, and we're not so satisfied with all the reviews. And then Steve said, like, but I did what you guys want. I told you guys, like, let's do it different, but you guys wanted it this way.
So funny, wow.
And he told all kinds of stories about Nirvana, recording Nirvana, and it was.
Did you hear about this thing that now it's coming, like forensic evidence is coming out that it wasn't suicide?
Yeah. I sometimes see something about it, but I don't know. I actually saw Nirvana on. I actually met him a few times.
You met Kurt Cobain?
Yeah, I met him a few times. I actually am also in the book of Paradiso 50 Years, talking about that Nirvana show. I saw Nirvana when they were. Not famous yet, during the first album. It was in the Melkweg, kleine zaal. I think it was 200 people or something. They were actually the opening band for Ted. And afterwards they were hanging out in Korsakov, like the local.
Imagine going in, like seeing Kurt Cobain.
And I was hanging with them, and then I also saw them in 90. This was 89, and I also saw them in 91 in Rotterdam. They were on tour with Sonic Youth and Dinosaur Jr. And they were also opening act. Also like a few hundred people. This was right before they
right before Nevermind.
Before Nevermind. But they were still nobody knew that record yet. Yeah, and then I also went because my friend Tos was friends with them. He said, let's go backstage. So I was hanging with them there backstage. It was a big mess. They were like throwing food and and actually I don't have it with me, but my orange pedal, Boss orange pedal, but Kurt had the same pedal as me. And he actually at the show he destroyed everything and threw everything in the audience. And this pedal ended up at my feet. I was like, oh nice, I have like a new pedal, But then this guy next to me, he picked up and he
threw it back.
He threw it back.
Can you imagine if you had the pedal of Kurt Cobain?
Yeah,
just put it like in a museum.
Yeah, I would have given it back after when I was backstage. But no, it was.
What was their demeanor? Were they like social, or were just like completely out of it, or?
No, they were social. Yeah. Normal guys. Marco actually, the singer of my band, he also saw them in I think in Austria or somewhere there, because he's from Serbia originally. So he traveled to Austria, and then he also met them in the bass player. He's originally this Chris Novoselic. He's originally also from Yugoslavia. I think from Croatia originally.
Okay.
And Marco actually got some, but this was also before they were famous. And Marco got some like limited editions and all this stuff. And Marco actually used those records to escape from Yugoslavia to the Netherlands. Like he sold those records
Really?
to escape the war. You know. So but they were nice guys. It's like weird because I'm now talking about like I just spoke about Jimi Hendrix, which is a legend, but I think Kurt Cobain is also like
He's
same
a
level
legend,
legend, you know.
I think he's way more famous actually.
Maybe
Kurt Cobain.
even
in the mainstream.
And it's the weird thing is that I was just talking to him like I'm talking to you.
Yeah.
And it's,
well, they're people, you know.
And it's And at the Melkweg show in '89, kleine zaal, small room. At the end of the show, he jumped from the stage and he rolled through the crowd, and then he grabbed my leg. And at first I was like, funny, you know, he's singer of the band grabbing my leg, but he wouldn't let go. And I was like, okay, Kurt, let go of my leg now, you know, at some point. And it was like holding on. And I was like, come on, man, like. And then at some point he let go of my leg and he rolled further to the exit. And there he stood up and he got out.
Oh, I thought he grabbed another leg.
No, he got out. And the band was still playing. They were still playing the song, and he just like left and got out, and that was it, you know.
Wow,
it was
that's
like
so funny.
No, but I mean these are things. I mean, and they were not a known band, but these are things that made this band also special. You know, these little, besides their catchy songs, but also their performances and the way He was doing it his own way, you know, not with a vision like I'm gonna be famous. He was just doing it his way.
I wonder if he liked the fame.
No, he didn't. He didn't like it at all. No. Yeah, I'm a Nirvana fan. First album, but all the albums are great actually. Pity. But my musical influences go much further than... at some point, I also started listening to John Coltrane, Miles Davis.
Cool, nice.
I mean, you can hear in those musicians that they're also sort of like underground, going against the grain. You know,
for sure,
like
100%.
not following the rules. And I once heard from, I think it was Coltrane or some other famous jazz musician, and he said like, if you play a wrong note, just play that note a second time, and it's not a wrong note anymore.
That's Miles. He said it.
Yeah, it's Miles.
He said it. He was saying it to Herbie because
to Herbie,
because they were playing with the quintet and it's like Miles was playing something and then Herbie was playing a wrong chord, and Herbie was like, I can't do it, and Miles was like, no, let me just fit what you're doing.
Yeah.
And then it's like exactly, he told him, if you're playing a wrong thing, play it again, and then it's not a mistake. But Miles was one of these, like, he brought jazz into the mainstream also.
Definitely.
Became huge.
Definitely.
Miles was really a celebrity. Yeah.
Definitely. But I can appreciate a lot of styles of music. I just think there's good music and bad music.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I don't care if it's reggae. If it's good reggae, it's good reggae. I love Steel Pulse, you know, or Black Uhuru. But I also love some death metal, black metal.
I think if music is done well, done well, you know, because I don't necessarily personally assign to like good music, bad music. It's just done well and done badly, you know. It's like recorded well, played well. It's like, you know, I don't have to like the aesthetics of the music, but if it's done well,
yeah. Well, when I entered politics, I actually.
How long ago was that? You went to politics?
Well, the first time I was on the list to be elected was like 8 years ago. But you have to go through some process. So it was, I think, 9 or 10 years ago when I first tried to get into the election list, and when they found out that I'm like a famous-ish guitarist, like people were also like, oh wow, he's looking up to me. But yeah, for me the political thing is like it's all connected, because the lyrics of the band, they are also political. And,
I can see it. It's very. Just from the small things that I just checked out here, it's a lot of it has to do.
And actually, the festival, Grauzone Festival, is also political, because we are completely vegan, not only for ourselves but also the audience and all acts playing. We only serve vegan food. And we're also really like aware of climate. Like we deliberately ask acts to come by train, and sometimes the train is more expensive, but we pay them. Even though maybe flight is cheaper. And we have the rule that at least 50% of the lineup have to be women, because a lot of festivals you see that it's like 80% men.
Sausage fest.
It's men. So we and LGBTQ movement. It's all within our festival, and this is also a way. In a way, it's political. And you see that some other fests are actually influenced by this, which is really cool. So we're like, it's
the Ballade of the Phones is very much that also. Like they have a very clear line with representation.
Yes, diversity. Yeah, this is very important for us. So like my whole way of thinking, it comes through in my music, in the festival, in politics, everything.
Man, it's been a great time to have you here, man.
Yeah, are we already finished?
I have to actually go myself. What time is it? Oh, yes, I am. Whoa, wow. It's 5 already.
Yeah.
Yes, because I have a recording.
And I can say one more thing.
Yeah, sure.
I told you before we started the conversation that I'm straight edge, which means that you don't drink alcohol and you don't take drugs. You're not letting your mind being influenced by substances. So you can always think clear. And I don't mind other people drinking alcohol or taking drugs. Everybody has to decide that for themselves. But for me, it's important to live this way.
Because you were also, it's interesting what you said about it. It emerged in the 80s, right? This movement.
Exactly. It was because the punk scene was known for like being very
1980. I mean,
1980s. Like punk scene was known for like drinking a lot, partying a lot. But on the other hand, having political lyrics. But then this movement said, okay, how can you have all these lyrics against authority while you're like drunk on the floor? So then you had this movement that said, okay, we just want to be aware and stay clear so we can fight the system.
Exactly. The system is very nuchter. Yeah, that's for sure.
We have to keep clear. We have to keep our minds clear to be as strong as possible to fight the system. So yeah.
Is there anything else you would like to say to the camera before we finish, or plug, or your message to the people?
No, it was a nice interview, and
Yeah.
we could have spoken much longer because I have a lot of, like you said, I'm doing a lot of different things, and if I could do it, I would even do more things because.
I mean, we're gonna do it again for sure. We're
Yeah.
talking, about making it also live, so you can come and play like the podcast, like live in front of people and all that stuff. It's like a series of interviews, and yeah, it's been a great conversation. I told Joao that I have to go myself.
Yes,
I didn't even know it's 5, huh? Wow,
It goes fast.
it goes really
If
fast.
you're
How long
having
were you
fun-
talking? An hour and a half, 1.5 hour.
If you have fun, it goes fast.
Yeah, it goes really fast. Yeah, man, Marc, thank you so much for
Yes.
doing it. Thank you so much also for this entire beautiful catalog that I'm holding here. You can see in the camera again. I'm holding like a bunch of LPs. Yeah, it's beautiful. Vinyl is the shit. I love it. Vinyl is so cool.
I have one.
Yeah, of course,
One
please.
here. This is like all these people who made these artworks. They're like we're like friends with them, and like Marald, he's from the Netherlands, and he made this cover.
Oh yeah, I just saw that. I was about to ask. Yeah, it's beautiful.
He made this cover. This is Age of Paranoia.
Wow.
Because we're living in an age of paranoia, right? And he actually is making like T-shirts for Metallica and bands like that, like really big bands.
It's beautiful.
And here I have the original drawing. So
Wow.
So like this is the original drawing, and this is like how it turned out when he started like online, like in a computer, to make the coloring. But this is the original pencil drawing, and it's
Can I
the
see it
same.
for
It's
me?
the same. It's as big as the album, but
Wow. This is amazing.
it's very detailed.
Wow. Marald van Hasteren. Wow. 2017.
17.
Color pencil, acrylic. Psh, wow, you can really see the details.
Yeah, people don't sometimes realize like that out of this, it turns into that, you know.
Yeah. Wow. Interesting how the brain is basically yelling, the paranoia. Consuming the person.
That's
Yeah.
it. That's it.
Wow, that looks so good and so creepy. Deranged degenerate. That's me.
Okay, let's end it on that note.
On that note, deranged degenerate. Oh.
But thank you guys.
Thank you, huh? Thank you
See you
again.
next time.
Joao, thank you so much. Our producer here. And everybody that has been joining us here to Into the Score, thank you so much for creating this community. Please like, subscribe, and follow us. You know how it works. 97% of you are not following us. That's at least 20 more people.
Fight the power.
Fight the like and subscribe button. Do it. See you, and we will see you at the gig. Thank you.